Welcome to the Oakland Mayor and Council meeting. Tonight is July 20th, 2022. Roll call.
Mayor Schwager.
Here.
Councilman Kamala.
Here.
Councilman McCann.
Here.
Councilman Pignatelli.
Here.
Councilman Saliani.
Here.
Councilman Sosinski. Councilman Talamini.
Here.
I move to excuse Councilman Slazinski.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
This meeting is being held in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Law, duly announced, advertised, and posted in the municipal building. The meeting will adjourn at 10 p.m. unless the majority of the council members that are present vote to extend the time. Before we begin, please look at your cell phones and either turn them off or put them on mute. Also, we request that you refrain from texting. It's very discourteous, very disruptive, and if you're texting anybody up here, it could be construed as a violation of the Open Public Meetings Act. At this time, we ask you to stand for the pledge and remain standing for a moment of silence. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. I always start with my mayor's report, and tonight is a night full of congratulations. I'm congratulating our 3 police officers that are going to be sworn in today. One sworn in as a police officer in Oakland, the other 2 with long-awaited promotions. But a big congratulations to resident Ed Clark. Ed Clark, as you all know, is involved with our trees, Shade Tree Commission. He's involved with Bush Plaza, and we nominated him for Congressman Josh Gottheimer's Hometown Hero Award. And he was selected. And this Friday, Ed Clark, congratulations. You will be recognized. You will be recognized as our hometown hero. You volunteered your time, your money, your services for Bush Plaza Park, Shade Tree Committee, and so much more. There's a full write-up about Ed Clark in the forthcoming newsletter out next week, the electronic version. We have another congratulations. I don't know if any of you went to school with Deb Gustin. Her family still lives in Oakland. Deb Gustin is an Oakland graduate. Went through the schools in Oakland. She is an attorney. Her parents still live here. And she recently received a very prestigious award in the state of New Jersey. It's called the Saul Tischler Award, an award given to an exemplary attorney in the state of New Jersey by the New Jersey State Bar Association, Family Law Section, for their lifetime contribution to family law throughout the state. I also want to add that Deb Gustin has received so many awards between the Bar Association in Bergen County, the State Bar, and Women Lawyers Bar Association in Bergen County. So, Deb Gustin, and to your parents, Sheila and Herb, congratulations, and the Oakland schools really helped you get up there. There's an updated COVID testing schedule at our senior center. It's now Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9, and Saturday 9 to 3. What time, Richard, does it end Monday, Wednesday, and Friday?
I think it goes to 6.
6, it's the drive-through. So now it's just Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and on Saturdays. And just to announce that the annual Bergen County Senior Citizens Festival will be held on Tuesday, September 13th, rain date September 20th, 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock in Van Zorn County Park. Details will follow. I'll announce again it's in August, and it will be in the newsletter in August and September. It's very hot outside. I think I don't know if it's lower than 100 degrees, but it did reach 100. And there are county cooling stations, but please, anybody, Most people have air conditioning, but if you don't, or you may have air conditioning that broke down and it's hard to get a repairman at this time. Our senior center invites you to come, sit, have coffee, you can have iced coffee, play games, or just sit and read a book in a nice air-conditioned building. Same thing with our library, it's open to everybody. If you need to be cooled down, go to either the senior center or to the Oakland Public Library. And just two more things. Many people write to me, and if you write to me, it's all public information, if you write to my mayor's email. And I've been getting a couple of complaints about noise from fireworks late at night. A lot of fireworks are now legal in the state of New Jersey, but please be sensitive to people, your fellow residents, your fellow neighbors. There's young children, there are animals, there are dogs and cats that can't handle the loud noise of fireworks. So just think before you start lighting fireworks at midnight on a nighttime, and a lot of noise. And noise is very hard to regulate, so I can't tell you how many decibels, and it's so difficult. So please just be considerate of your neighbors when you're making a lot of noise at night. And the last thing that I want to talk about is water, and I'm going to bring it up during new business. There's a lot of chatter going around, and of course chatter means rumors, and all what it takes is one person to say one thing, another person to say, it's like telephone, you know, the old telephone game. One word leads to two words, leads to three words that are not always the same as the original word. I still drink tap water in Oakland, and I know Steve was saying he's still drinking the tap water. We're still here, we're still fine, not to worry. However, number two, what happened with the fines from a few years ago has nothing to do with the PFAS and the PFOAs. It's a separate issue. So don't assume because of those fines from the sewers that it had anything to do with the water from our wells. It's totally separate. So I've asked Richard, our borough administrator, and our engineer to work with our water and sewer engineers. It's time for a public meeting again. I think the last meeting, when this first came out, and everybody got nervous, we had it by Zoom because we could not meet in person. So I am asking to arrange and schedule, Richard, with our engineers and our professionals. It'll be a question and answer period. First it'll be a summary of what is going on and exactly the status of our water, so you don't have to worry. And then we will have a question and answer period. So it will follow up. As soon as we all can figure out a date, we will invite everybody to a public meeting, open meeting about our water. So please, don't worry, and don't worry. And with that, we have, I'm going to do you first. We're the swearing in of our officers, and we have 3 resolutions we first have to pass before we can do anything. And the first resolution is 22-210, which is appoint Carly Brolick
So moved.
as an Oakland police officer, and she was recommended by the police chief for the appointment. We met with her. It was a very great meeting. We're very excited. Her appointment will be effective July 20th, 2022, at an annual salary. The salary shall be the academy step in the amount of $41,296 in accordance with the current PBA collective bargaining agreement. Now motion.
So moved.
Second?
Roll call.
Councilman Kamala?
Yes.
Councilman McCann?
Yes.
Councilman Pignatelli?
Yes.
Councilman Saliani?
Yes.
Councilman Talamini?
Yes.
Resolution 22-211, authorized promotion of Brian Rowan. Officer Brian Rowan has qualified promotion per the rules and regulations of the New Jersey Civil Service Commission. For Administrator, Public Safety Committee, Oakland Police Chief, all recommended Officer Brian Rowan to be promoted to fill the open sergeant's position. It will be effective July 20th, 2022, at a compensation shall be $138,034 pursuant to the PBA collective bargaining agreement. Motion.
So moved.
Second?
Roll call.
Councilman Kamala?
Yes.
Councilman McCann?
Yes.
Councilman Pignatelli?
Yes.
Councilman Saliani?
Yes.
Councilman Talamini?
Yes.
And now Resolution 2212. 22, I'm not doing well tonight. 22212. Authorize promotion of Mark Piercy. We have a vacancy for the lieutenant's position of the recent retirement. Mark Piercy, Detective Mark Piercy, has qualified promotion for rules and regulations of the New Jersey Civil Service Commission. For Administrative Public Safety Committee and Oakland Police Chief have recommended that Detective Mark Piercy be promoted to fill the lieutenant's position. The position and the rank of lieutenant will be effective July 20th, 2022. His salary shall be $150,447 pursuant to the PBA collective bargaining agreement. Motion.
So moved. Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Kamala?
Yes.
Councilman McCann?
Yes.
Councilman Pignatelli?
Yes.
Councilman Saliani?
Yes.
Councilman Talamini?
Yes.
And I just want to compliment the police, Mark, and I just always, and I apologize, I always associate Mark with the Junior Police Academy. But it was a collective, thank you. It was a collective work of our police department. To see the kids after that, at graduation of the Junior Police Academy was incredible. And thank you to our police department, what you do for our children. And I'm starting to collect the cards too, so thank you. Okay, we'll start with the newest officer in our police department, Carly. You have a Bible here. Do you want to call anybody up? Hi, Mom. Hi. You ready? Okay. I, your name,
I, Carly Bullock,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and the governments
and the governments
established in the United States
established in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the
and that I will
people,
faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
of the Office of Police Officer in Oakland
the office of police officer in Oakland
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my
So help me
ability.
God.
So help me God.
Carly?
Here's my pen. Chief? How you doing, buddy?
Sign. Sign and address. Don't worry about it.
Congratulations and welcome. Welcome. Good job.
Brian.
Congratulations, Chief. You got new,
So I can no longer call you-
new member, new
No
mole.
longer call you about traffic and
can still
people
call me.
complaining?
You can still call
Oh,
me.
okay, good. And who's gonna hold the Bible?
My wife, Stephanie.
Hi. And the children? Yep. You wanna hold the Bible? Ooh. Oh, my goodness. And it's gonna take all of you. It's very heavy. Very heavy. Ready? Okay. I, Brian Rowan. well,
I, Brian
you know
Rowan.
your name, do solemnly swear
Do solemnly
or
swear
affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and the governments
and the governments
established in the United States
established in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
of the office of sergeant
of the office of sergeant,
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations. And then there's Mark Piercy. Yeah, sign your name and your address. Oh, my address. So, are you having the entire family come? No.
Most likely, yes.
No, now? No, the whole, you don't want the whole Bible?
No, thank
Okay.
you.
Okay. Yes, it's long. You ready? I
I, Mark Piercy,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey.
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the
I
same
will bear true faith, allegiance to the same,
and the governments
and the government
established in the United States
established in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
of lieutenant
of lieutenant,
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God.
So now you're Lieutenant Mark Piercy.
Thank you.
Sign your address. Your address.
Pop.
Can you show your right hand?
Pop.
Yes.
Pop.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Makeup. Makeup. Pop.
At this time, if you'd like to leave, you could leave. Or you can stay. You don't want to stay? It's so hot. I know, it's honestly. Oh, okay. We now have a very happy occasion also, because now we're going to celebrate children. And it was the green team that had a contest, and I'm sure we'll talk about it. Do you want to talk about it now, what the contest was?
Sure.
You want to talk about what the contest was? It's this bad. I brought the bag. Yes, I brought the bag so everybody can see. Do you want to explain what the contest was? Somebody come up here and explain.
Oh my God, we're all coming up.
Okay.
Make a decision for us, because, come on, you two, everybody.
Okay. Sorry.
Now, go ahead.
All right. We held the Sustainable Oakland Green team held a art contest this spring. It was opened up to all elementary schools, the middle school, and the high school. Basically, what the objective was to promote the new plastic bag ban in New Jersey, and we got lots of entrants. Oh, sorry. And we got lots of entries, but we landed on one particular one, and it is printed and on a bag that will be available at the Senior Center, at the Borough Hall, and the library, and some other places that we're working on right now. Our next meeting is next week, and we're going to figure out where we're going.
And also,
Yeah.
as we have events around town, we'll have the
Yes.
bags on hand if anybody wants
They're
them.
great bags.
Do you recall how many entrants we had? Because it was rather
Yeah.
It was
sizable.
over 75, I think.
Yeah.
75
Yeah.
from the town. There was a lot to go through there.
Yeah.
So we have some winners.
Yes.
do.
Yes, we do.
Yes. The first winner is Daisy Troop 98286.
Is that you?
Who is representing the Daisy Troop? Yeah. And there's certificates for all the members of the troop. So,
So there should be
I
12 of
didn't
them.
sign it. Oh, they're just copies? Okay. All right, so I'm gonna give you, you'll take all of these. Give them out. What do we do with the copies?
We'll get them to their friends.
Okay. Thank you. But what's even more exciting, what's in this envelope?
Yes.
Oh, I forgot to mention half the things.
A gift card. So Michael said you have to sign before you leave. So you'll deal with Michael. He ordered me to tell you.
I'll do it under the thing, but so a couple of things. The contest was sponsored by Sustainable Jersey, the Oakland Green team, Andrea Levy Homes, the Clean Communities Grant, and Arts in Oakland, and I think that's it. And the town.
And make sure you sign.
Nice collaboration.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
All right, so then we have Cameron Morgan, participant from Manitou School.
Yeah.
Congratulations. And you also get a gift certificate, which you have to sign before you leave. Don't leave unless you sign.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
We
Great
love
work.
it.
Shake your hand to your green team.
Thank you.
Benjamin Bixler. Benjamin is a participant from Heights Elementary School. So make sure you sign before you leave.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Shake hands? Come on, shake hands. All right, good job.
And Kendall Cox from Valley Middle School.
Thank you.
Nice
And
work.
again, you have to sign the gift card before you leave.
Thank
And
you,
Matthew Mazer, honorable mention from Manitou School.
Oh, Matthew couldn't make it.
Okay,
Couldn't
so,
make it. Yeah. All right.
then we have the big one.
A big one.
Yep. I
The
don't
winner
know if
at Indian Hills, from Indian Hills High School, Rosemary Yang.
I don't know if she.
I don't think she could
Yeah,
make it.
I don't think she
So
could
I'll give it to you to hold on to. Okay. Rosemary, go to Borough Hall, and you will get your certificate and your gifts and your gift card. Thank you.
Want them all come up so we can get a picture?
Oh, yeah, everybody, can we get a group picture
Just come back up.
with everybody?
All the winners, all the winners, come on up.
You're gonna stand here and take
Stand right here,
pictures.
okay?
Right, you're representing your
You're gonna
Daisy
face the
troop.
other way, turn around. You can stand in front of us, all right?
Wait,
Heavy.
get back, step back, step back.
Alrighty, smile.
Are you smiling?
Cheese, guys. Awesome, beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Congratulations.
Good job.
all about our young people.
God bless them. Yep.
So, at this time, I'll entertain a motion to open to the public.
So moved?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We have a very lengthy meeting tonight, so we're going to adhere to our rule, which is 3 minutes per speaker. So please, if you want to speak, try and limit yourself to 3 minutes. Anybody wish to speak? The podium is open. I guess we don't have to worry about the 3 minutes per speaker. Is there a motion to close?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And we have minutes to approve. We have minutes from the June 22nd, 2022 meeting. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Councilman Kamala?
Yes.
Councilman McCann?
Yes.
Councilman Pignatelli?
Yes.
Councilman Saliani?
Abstain.
Councilman Talamini?
Yes.
We have minutes from the June 22nd, 2022 executive session. If there's going to be any discussion, it must be done in executive session. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Will there be any discussion? If not, roll call.
Councilman Kamala?
Yes.
Councilman McCann?
Abstain.
Councilman Pignatelli?
Yes.
Councilman Saliani?
Abstain.
Councilman Talamini?
Yes.
We have minutes from the July 6, 2022 special meeting. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Councilman Kamala?
Yes.
Councilman McCann?
Yes.
Councilman Pignatelli?
Yes.
Councilman Saliani?
Yes.
Councilman Talamini?
Yes.
We already did the odd contest winners because we didn't know how late we could stay up, and it's very, I don't know if it's getting warm. But we have something very special for an older person, not older in age, but not a kid. And this is for Richard LaPrey. And it is a certificate. And it is, a community has no greater riches than the dedicated service of its people. Rick, as we know him, served on the zoning board from September 19th, 1996 to June 22nd, 2022. In recognition and appreciation for almost 26 years of exemplary service as a board member, 18 years as chairman for the Borough of Oakland Zoning Board of Adjustment, the mayor and council commend and thank you for your dedication and commitment to the borough. We wish you continued success and happiness in all your future endeavors.
Gentlemen?
Congratulations. Thank you for your service. Thank you.
So what about those that you signed? Is she, it's all taken care of? Okay. All right, we have a few appointments. There was issues with submissions of the citizen leadership forms. So not all vacancies are going to be filled tonight. The first one will be the rec commission. That submission was submitted. It's a mayor's appointment, and after discussion with the rec commission, why can't I find it? You have it? I don't know what happened to it. It is Michelle Shadewasser. Michelle has been serving as the cheerleading, in charge of cheerleading, working with Jen Latero. Jen Latero had to resign. She told me she was planning on it. I asked her not to. I begged her not to. She was doing such a good job. Finally, she says, I just can't do it at this time. So she and Michael looked at all those, actually it was women, to be honest with you, with the cheerleading, who were involved with cheerleading. And she put in, Michelle put in, and has been working very closely with Jen. She is a Girl Scout troop leader. She will fill the position of Jen Latira, and I did write down, I don't know what happened to it. I apologize. I did write down the vacancy. I'll move up. Jen Latira was a commissioner who expires in 2026. Stephen Catalano was the alternate one, so I'm going to move Steve Catalano up to commissioner. And Megan Rotundo was the second alternate. I'll move her up, and then I will put Michelle in to fill the alternate spot. Thank you. It's probably in my office. The Recreation Commission, that was the Recreation Commission. The Great Oak Park Committee has a vacancy also, and that was recommended to be filled because now they're busy working with the band shell and the possibility of concerts coming and activities. And we received a submission by Amy Eilert, and it is by appointment as Great Oak Park, and I'm appointing Amy Eilert to the Great Oak Park Committee to fill the vacancy, and I'm told she's going to work very closely with the activities. Then we have public events, and this is exciting. Somebody wants to be on public events?
An extra person.
And that is a council appointment. So there is openings, there are many openings, and now there are 2 members that their term expired and they submitted, but they're still working on the public
Yes,
event.
they're still working.
So we're letting them work as holdovers, we're not gonna take them
I
away.
remind them often.
Especially Joe and Gleamer, especially when Halloween comes,
Yeah.
you're not letting him go.
No.
And Michael Kozak does the mapping of the carnival, so we can't let him go. So the vacancies are, exist, and one of them is for Amy Eilert, so do you wanna make a motion?
Sure, so moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Kamala.
Yes.
Councilman McCann.
Yes.
Councilman Pignatelli.
Yes.
Councilman Saliani.
Yes.
Councilman Talamini.
Yes.
There are 2 more vacancies, but unfortunately, some of the councilmen did not receive the submissions timely. So at the next meeting, we will be doing the Board of Adjustment and the Board of Health. Those are the vacancies there. There is a request for extended hours and Saturday work from PSE&G. The council already received it. Is there a motion? Do you want to discuss this? Well, first of all, is there a motion to approve?
Discussion, Mayor.
Well, I think we have to do the motion first, right?
Okay.
Motion.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
Now we'll discuss. Go.
Discussion. I would recommend that the starting hour be 9 a.m. Rather than earlier than that, as we do with other requests for extended hours. That's my only recommendation.
All right.
People deserve to sleep until at least 9 o'clock on Saturday.
I would agree with that.
Yes. Anybody else?
Just, as long as it's consistent with what we've done in the past, I think we're fine.
All right, so you want to make that motion then?
I make a motion that we,
Well, then they
have
do
the
extend the hours, but not extend it. It's
We
already done.
approve based on the start of 9 a.m.
Aye.
so moved.
Second. Roll call.
Councilman Kamala.
Yes.
Councilman McCann.
Yes.
Councilman Pignatelli.
Yes.
Councilman Saliani.
Yes.
Councilman Talamini.
Yes.
Okay, we have resolutions. I will do it as a consent agenda. If there are any you wish pulled out, you'll let me know. Resolution 22-151, refund of a permit fee to Anatoly and Zana Zaitsev, 11 Ray Ben Avenue, Block 5305, Lot 7, in the amount of $175. 22-189 is a refund of recreation fees. The Merkel family, basketball camp 200, Macefield family, summer camp 260, Roberto family, baseball camp $115. Sandrowski family, Little League baseball $93. Parvis family, summer camp $900. Carty family, summer camp $157.50. Herrick family, summer camp $260, and the DeBlock family, baseball camp $125. Then we have 22-213 is to refund the community garden fee. And then 214, Resolution 22-214 is confirm appointment of the Deputy Borough Registrar. It's required as provision of NJSA 26:8-17. Registrar of Vital Statistics has appointed Michael E. Corelli as Deputy Borough Registrar. Mayor and Borough and the Mayor and the Council wish to confirm Michael Corelli as the Deputy Borough Registrar in Vital Statistics. He'll be compensated at an annual stipend of $2,127.62.
So moved?
No, we're doing all of that.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's right. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Which is the one I'm pulling out with Boswell? Which is the one I'm pulling out with Boswell, Richard?
We're gonna hold 225.
225. Okay. This is 215. Amend Resolution 21-238, appointing municipal representatives to the Bergen County Community Development Regional Committee. The term ends, and the term is for 2022 to 2023, starting July 1st, 2022, and ending June 30th, 2023. The term expired by former Councilman John Bialy, and which left a vacancy. And so at this point, the council hereby appoints Eric Miles as representative and John McCann as the alternate, and that the mayor hereby appoints Richard Kunz as her representative and Michael Corelli as the alternate to serve on the Community Development Regional Committee for the fiscal year 2022-2023. Resolution 216 is the resolution urging the New Jersey legislature to amend the budget cap law to appropriate funds for increasing insurance costs. And unfortunately, with COVID, everything has gone up. All you have to do is walk into the stores, and the MEL, which is the Municipal Excess Liability Joint Insurance Fund, has incurred an estimated $50 million in COVID-related workers' compensation claims. And these costs will continue to increase. And they're asking for increases. Resolution 217 is award bid for Soons Field Pumping Station Generator Replacement Project. And 3 bids went out. Multi-Phase Electrical Services, 15 William Street in Closter, had the lowest bid, $193,000. CFO has certified funds are available. And the total amount is $193,000. Be accepted. 22-218, authorize shared services agreement with County of Bergen for a period of 2022 to 2024 for snow plowing services. As you know, we plow 202, which is a county road, and we get it reimbursed, so it's considered a shared service. And it is for $115 an hour for 2 consecutive snow seasons. 22-219 is a resolution requesting permission for the dedication by rider for Borough of Oakland, access for all dedicated donations, so that we can accept donations for access for all. 22-220 is a resolution requesting permission for the dedication by rider for Borough of Oakland Shade Tree Forest Management of dedicated donations, so we can accept donations for same. 22-221 is resolution requesting permission for the dedication by rider for Borough of Oakland Arts Council, dedicated donations. And again, it's for accepting of donations. 22-222, confirm hire of clerical assistant for tax assessor's office. The mayor and the Borough Council will authorize the hiring of Chelsea Ruiz as temporary full-time clerical assistant for the tax assessor's office at a rate of $15 per hour, effective Tuesday, July 5th, 2022. Award 2223, award contract to Boswell Engineering for boundary and topographical survey for Bush Plaza Park. And it'll be a lump sum, Boswell Engineering, with a lump sum amount of $4,875. 22-224, Chapter 159 for USDA Emergency Watershed Protection Grant for Alaman Brook, I saw you lift your head up, yes, for Alaman Brook debris removal and repairs. And it is a grant that we got from NRCS grant in the amount of $137,587.50 for the sole purpose of Alaman Brook debris removal and repairs, and thus wishes to amend the 2022 budget to include this amount as revenue. And 22224 is to authorize Chapter 159 for the USDA Emergency Watershed Protection Grant for the Almond Brook repairs. And 225, that's the one we're holding. 22226 is award contract to Penn's Trail Environmental LLC for geophysical investigation for 20 Lenape Lane in Oakland. And it goes to Penn's Trail Environmental LLC in Hatfield, Pennsylvania. CFO has certified that funds are available, and it's the amount of $2,225. 22227, resolution of the Borough of Oakland, County of Bergen, referring rehabilitation area study and resolution to Planning Board for review. 22228 is authorize the issuance of duplicate tax sales certificate. The Oakland tax collector previously issued a tax sale certificate to Tri-Stone Capital Assets LLC dated December 21st, 2020. Covering premises commonly known as referred to as Block 2201, Lot 9, known as Hunter's Run. The purchaser of the certificate has indicated that they have lost or otherwise was misplaced the original tax sale certificate, and therefore we need this resolution for that. 22229, cancel sewer capital balances. Skyview collection, $1,746.23. Skyview supplemental, $7,581.63. Skyview and reduction, $190,000. 22230, award flow cooperative purchasing group contract for solid waste disposal. I just can't talk tonight. Township of Wyckoff is our lead agency. We call it, it's the Wyckoff Oakland Franklin Lakes Cooperative Purchasing Group. And if we work as a group, our rates are a lot better. Resolution 22231, award contract for purchase of Bobcat skid steer loader. And we're in need of that. And Bobcat of New Jersey, in Totowa, New Jersey, submitted a proposal in the amount of $64,599.20. CFO has certified that the funds are available. 22232, authorized water restrictions. I think we should pull this out to talk about. Yes, we're going to pull out that one. 22233, appoint Communications Commission Secretary. Communications Commission has requested a need for a secretary, and they created a new position, and they're asking that Wendy Francis Seelan be appointed as secretary for an annual stipend of $1,200 effective Monday, September 5th, 2022. And resolution 22234 is established Arts in Oakland Committee. Are you moved to work session? And you have to rewrite the resolution. It's 233, not 333. Okay. Just so everybody knows, before any is discussed, all of these resolutions were discussed ahead of time, either in work session or as new business. So it's not as if they're just voting on this now. Now, are there any resolutions you wish to pull out besides 232 water restrictions? Anybody? If not, a motion for consent agenda.
Motion. Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Kamala?
Yes.
Councilman McCann?
Yes.
Councilman Pignatelli?
Yes.
Councilman Saliani?
Yes.
Councilman Talamini?
Yes.
So, resolution 22232 is to authorize water restrictions. And I think we have to discuss this. But before we discuss it, I guess there has to be a motion for it. So is there a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Discussion. Thank you.
Discussion.
You want to start?
No, just, so we'll pull up, what are we, I want, just to be clear, what are we proposing as restrictions to be for the town? Odd
Yeah.
even days?
Right, so the way the ordinance was prepared was just a simple odd even watering schedule. So if your house has an odd number, you can water on days of the week that have an odd number, and even goes with even. And there's exemptions made, it applies to residential and commercial properties alike, but there are exemptions there for anybody that has newly planted grass, shrubs, trees, and any horticultural businesses. I can't talk tonight either.
So the torrential downpour that we received did not help.
It didn't hurt.
My grass
Let's
got a
put it that
little
way.
bit less yellow.
But, you know, if you look at what we had before that one day of storms, if you look at what we have this week, it's been a very hot, rather dry summer so far. It'd be great for that pattern to break, but that remains to be seen. And what we were seeing last week when we sent out the call for voluntary conservation was there was a lot of stress being placed on the system, and that daily usage was exceeding the amount of water that the system was pumping. So the tanks were not refilling every night, right? So they'll usually recharge overnight, draw down during the day, and that cycle repeats. So as they were recharging, they weren't coming up to the level that they were the day before, right? And that eventually, if that continues, that puts the system in danger. Now, towards the end of last week, everything stabilized. We had one of our pump stations actually shut off for the first time in like 13 days. So I think that voluntary conservation had a positive effect. But this, we think, is a kind of a sensible approach to making sure that the system isn't overstressed at any given point in time.
But if all of a sudden the weather changes, you never know with the weather, the way it is, you can't predict anymore. And all of a sudden we get a lot of rain, we can always shorten the time frame.
Is it effective immediately?
It would go into effect immediately.
But it says until September 15th.
Until September 15th. And by the way, that language was pulled from resolutions that the town had adopted previously,
Right.
in 06, 07, 08, and we really haven't done it since then. But of course, if you're getting more rain, there's probably less of a need to water in the first place. Right, so.
All right,
Hang on.
so we have a motion and a second.
Just a quick question,
Yes.
Mr. Coons. So last time we had water restrictions was 2008 and 2009?
About then, yeah.
Okay. So to be clear, we can revisit this prior to September 15th if we want to?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. You have a
Yeah, we
question?
have a meeting in mid-August, we can see what the weather pattern is like then and how the system's doing.
So if all of a sudden we get a lot of rain.
And Mr. Coons, this will be posted on the website so people understand exactly what they can and can't do, correct?
Yes, there'll be messaging going out tomorrow.
Thank you.
And it'll be put in the, hopefully it'll be put in the
But
newsletter.
our revenue goes down too.
And the newsletter, yeah. And the newsletter is going out next week. I'm sorry, what?
Reverse 911.
Reverse, I'm sorry, I'm going away. But please put in the newsletter to the Oakland Commission, because the newsletter is coming out next week, the beginning of the month, so you'll, Michael. Right, introduction.
We have to
Oh, on that one, that's right. We voted on the resolution, but we didn't vote on 22-232. We have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Councilman Kamala?
Yes.
Councilman McCann?
Yes.
Councilman Pignatelli?
Yes.
Councilman Saliani?
Yes.
Councilman Talamini?
Yes.
We have introduction of Code 22 Code 3889, an ordinance authorizing and encouraging electric vehicle supply service equipment, EVSE, and make-ready parking spaces. This is the introduction. So is there a motion to introduce?
Motion. Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Kamala?
Yes.
Councilman McCann?
Yes.
Councilman Pignatelli?
Yes.
Councilman Saliani?
Yes.
Councilman Talamini?
Yes.
Final hearing.
August 17th.
So the final hearing on this ordinance will be August 17th, which is our next meeting. They have one meeting in July, one meeting in August. So on August 17th, it'll be open for the public comment. Please, if you can, read the ordinance, the proposed ordinance, which is called number 22, Code 389, about electric vehicle and the parking spaces. And with that, work session. So, work session items. The first thing is, though, Arts in Oakland Committee.
Oh, we're moving that to the top.
I don't know, you're doing it. You're doing the,
I can, right, I mean, we actually have people here for 2 of the 4 items, so why don't we take those first?
which of the 2 of the 4 items?
The Rotary Park sign?
Oh, well, that's Rick. Rick is the president of the Oakland Franklin Lakes Rotary Club. representative. So you're the one who sent us the design. Could you please, in case anybody doesn't know, what the Rotary Park and the Rotary Park sign is and where?
Okay. What we're talking about here is what used to be the message board down in the center of town near Rotary Park. All right, and it's located in what is actually known as Rotary Park itself. It's next door to I always call it the park in the hole where the flagpoles are. So, in any event, as you know, that sign has been emptied out and reduced to a shell, and we've been studying an adaptive reuse of that sign, or possibly it's total destruction, whatever the case may be. I came by months back, presented several options, including its demolition. Suggestions were made, and I think we evolved a mutually, it seemed to be like a good idea on the design, and I went and drafted that up, brought that and sent that back in. I believe you've received it. This is the 36-inch high version, right, where we take down the columns, drop the whole thing down, and then put very simple language in where the old town message bar was. And that's about it. Just looking to see if you want us to go ahead and take care of it, we'll go ahead and take care of it. And if you say go do it, fine, and it'd be nice if you waived the sign permit paperwork.
Comments?
I mean, it seems that, I mean, that's what we talked about when the last time you were here, we discussed going shorter and the Rotary sign, and I just think that's where we are, and I think we're all in agreement. I think it'll look great, and really thank you for everything that Rotary does, and for all your years of service on the board.
I have no life, it's just, keep plugging around doing stuff.
Yeah, I just want to agree with Councilman Talamini. I certainly agree with the design as right now. And I also want to point out the fact that you guys already did the work on the bricks and everything and the flowers.
Yes,
and that really
the
cleaned
wheel
up that
has
corner.
been, shall we say, reset. If anybody who has never actually been over there, it's not just a simple little patio. When you look down at it, it's actually an entire rotary wheel.
Correct.
Done in brick pavers.
Yep.
And engraved.
Yeah.
And engraved.
Yes, it was a fundraiser also. And we put it
fundraiser.
together. The Rotary Club actually, we did it, was one day we did it, or we were one weekend?
It was one weekend. We did a little
We
grading
actually
first
put
and
the
laid
bricks
it out
down.
and laid all the bricks.
I know it's hard to believe, but yes. But we did
anybody
it, the
wants
whole
to-
club did it.
And I also want to, Rick, I just want to thank you for all your service on
Yes, thank you.
the zoning board. It was,
Nice,
that's a career right there.
nice of you to dedicate that many years. Thank you.
Well, thanks for the thanks, guys. Yeah, I mean, I really enjoy doing it. It was gratifying to be able to do something in service to the town like that and service to the residents.
Thank you.
So I appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you for coming tonight.
All righty, so as the expression goes, just let me know.
Yes.
Is everybody comfortable with it?
Yes.
Yeah, I think we say yes now.
Okay?
Yes.
Okay, we'll waive the permits per his request.
And actually, you're the one who did the design work for us, so thank you.
Appreciate it.
No big deal. It's just a little drawing.
Thank
All
you.
right, thank you. So put it in the works and we'll make it happen.
Thank you.
Take care.
All right, so then the next thing, we have, well,
We'll talk
you
about
want
the
to do
art.
it together. What did you want to do
You
together?
want to do the Arts Council? We have representatives here from the Green Team.
Hi, again. We're back. As you know,
Why don't you
Andrea,
give your name so everybody knows who you are and you're talking about?
Allie Fleeson, 224 Hiawatha Boulevard.
Andrea Levy, 780 Ramapo Valley Road.
So, as you guys know, Andrea and I put on the Arts in Oakland, Creative Bergen's Arts Amble the last 2 years in the center of town. It's been very successful, very popular, and we've had really a lot of great feedback from the community. And it has been part of the Sustainable Oakland Green Team as a subcommittee. We'd like to break it out of the Green Team and make it its own committee, so we can actually foster more creativity and community and
Yeah.
and all the good things that come with bringing arts to the community.
People
So,
want it, and they've
yeah.
expressed that, I mean, we speak to a lot of people throughout town, and the feedback in general has been extremely positive for what we've done the past 2 years, and we started small, got a little bit bigger this year. We would like to grow it a little bit more next year, but the general feedback from the public has just been so positive, and they want more. They've expressed they want more, and we're willing to put in the time to do it, and so, yeah, that's pretty much where we stand.
So the resolution,
The resolution is a draft that would set forth the duties and responsibilities of the committee and its, the organizational structure.
so was the intention to vote on it tonight?
No, this was just for discussion tonight.
Okay.
If everybody is in favor of it, we would move it to a resolution for adoption at the next meeting.
I just want to address the Green Team real quick. We had an opportunity to meet and discuss this last week, as a matter of fact. And as Ms. Levy and my name is
Allie.
Allie.
Come on. No.
We're talking about the fact that, with the Arts Anvil, it's been successful for 2 years, and it's been growing every year. And they actually found a grant from the county, and because of the 2 years of the work that they've been doing with the Green Team with the Arts Anvil, it allows them to apply for the grant. And one of the resolutions that we just passed was the dedication for rider for donations for when we create this committee, so it really opens the door to allow people to donate and keep the arts going. The other thing we're also faced with is the band shell is going to be completed hopefully by the end of this year, and we're going to need a committee to really start looking at that, bringing acts into town and really taking advantage of all the work that's been going on in Great Oak Park with the band shell. So I mean, I think it's terrific, and if you go down there right now with all the, just start to see sculptures and everything else like that. And I think it's just I think the arts are important in any community, schools, and everything else like that. So I certainly support your initiative 100%.
But you'll still work on the Green Team.
Of course.
Yeah.
Right, because, I mean. with
Oh, there's so much to do.
And our certification, which help us with grants and opportunities.
There's a
Thank
lot,
you.
and we want to raise money, and, I mean, I have a history of raising money through my Flow Follies, endeavors and whatnot. So, I mean, we're looking forward to really, really growing this and bringing something wonderful to the
Great.
community.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Making a committee does not exclude us from Sustainable Jersey grants. It actually increases the grants from Sustainable Jersey, from the county, from the state. There are grants all over the place for the arts, and having a committee that's a dedicated committee can actually foster that and really go for those
And it will
things.
inspire our children.
Yeah, that's a big
Yes.
part of it too.
Yes. And we have a lot of people who want to participate. So that's the other exciting part of this, is there are a lot of volunteers throughout the town that have expressed interest. If you're going to be doing that, we'll be there, and that's what we want to hear.
That's
Yeah,
great,
good
thank
stuff.
you.
Yeah, thank you.
I'd like to make a motion that we put this resolution on for our next meeting on
Oh,
August 17th.
Well, we said we would put it on, it'll be on, we
If
don't need a
everybody's
motion
in
for that.
favor of it, we'll
We're putting it on, yeah.
Please put it there.
we're good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Now, so we did the Rotary Park sign, we did the arts
Class 3 special officer.
Class 3 special officers.
special officers.
Okay. So Class 3 special officers, if you don't know, there's Class 1s and Class 2s. Class 3s are class of special officer that was, I guess, added to the law a bunch of years ago that specifically meant to address issues with school security. They're retired police officers who were hired to provide security for schools. So as the Oakland School District continues to look at this issue, they started to re-engage us in some conversation about the possibility of using SLEO3s in the elementary schools and the middle school. So ultimately, this would require, if this were to move ahead, the Board of Education would need to identify funding for these positions, and we would need a rather thorough interlocal agreement with the Board of Education as well. And I provided a sample from another town in your packets. But we thought as a first step to kind of move this forward and to prepare for that possibility would be to add the position of SLEO3 to the table of organization for the police department by amending the code. And that's what the ordinance before you would do. It just adds a paragraph in there, and just, I think, puts us in a better position if this is something that's going to move forward over the next year or so. It's that much quicker we can move to make it happen. So, just wanted to make you aware that, this is a discussion that's been taking place, especially in light of recent events. And it's something that we'll probably have some additional conversations about going forward.
I just want to piggyback on what Mr. Kuhn said. We had a meeting last month with the Public Safety Committee, and this was brought up as a topic of discussion. And unfortunately, we live in these times that we are. And we as a committee felt that this was a good move to be at least be prepared in the event that the schools wanted to move in that direction. So this really is the first, this just sets the groundwork. And then after this is done, a couple more steps, and then the school has to decide if this is what they want to do. But at least we as a borough and the police department will be ready to move forward should the schools want to do that. So like I said, the committee was in support of it, and that was myself, the mayor, Councilman McCann, the police chief, and also Borough Minister Coons.
And the funding of this is, like, would this be discussed between the schools and the town, or are we assuming that the schools would pick up the?
As I understand, these agreements usually work where the schools are funding it. That's typical, as opposed to an SRO where you can have some more cost sharing arrangements. And, as you know, Russ, we had looked at having an SRO for Valley. We applied for a grant to defray some of the costs there with the schools as well, but those grants are very competitive. We were not successful in getting that. And this is a rather different approach. The position's sort of fundamentally different than what a complete school resource officer is tasked with doing. But it also then would be able to provide security to all the schools, because you're looking at hiring 4 people rather than 1 officer. So that'll be, if you had a chance to look at the agreement, the sample agreement that was in the packet, there's a lot of ground to cover there. There's a lot of discussion still to be had.
But this is just putting a framework in place, right? There's no definition for it.
All this does is say, we're adding this type of position to our table of organization. It just puts us in that much better of a position if we do decide to go forward. If everybody's comfortable with that, we'll have that on for introduction at the next meeting as well.
Good, sounds good.
All right, now let's talk about recreation advertising program.
Yep. Okay, so, and I think, Mary, you had mentioned this at a previous meeting. Steve Catalano reached out to me.
Right.
And David Young and I spoke with him about this last week, learned a little bit more about what they're looking to do. So what they would like to do is have a banner advertising program that would support football, baseball, softball programs, kind of a uniform look to the banners. Businesses could have their logos on these banners. We would solicit businesses to participate in the program. Banners would be 6 feet by 3 feet, to be hung on the fences during the relevant season. So during the football season for the football banners, and during the baseball season for the baseball banners. They're proposing a cost of $500 per banner per season. Football, $700 per banner per season for baseball, given the different lengths of the seasons. So in order to move forward with this, we would have to advertise it, right? We actually have an ordinance that's kind of on point with this that requires advertising to the entire community, publicly, for at least 10 days. And any money that comes in would then in turn come back around in the subsequent budget year and be dedicated to the football and baseball.
So that was a question a couple of the commissioners called me. They want to know why you can't go, and I don't have the answer, so I'm asking you. Why can't it go through the sports association?
The sports association isn't the borough. This is a borough program on borough ground property. It's not their fundraiser. It's a borough.
Well, that's what I need. I need
Right.
the exact
So,
reason.
Right. So it's a borough program where we're raising the money. We're soliciting that money.
Why would they think it would be better to go through this?
Because they're afraid they're not going to get the money back.
Oh, I was gonna piggyback off that. So if the money comes in, so typically recreation goes to share funds, from my experience. So this money is dedicated just to those programs, we won't let it go to other
Right.
parts of recreation if we need it?
So
That's what
there's-
they're afraid of.
Okay, so there's a recreation trust, as you know, right?
Yes.
And that's specifically for capital expenditures.
Yes.
right? This is, what they're talking about is for operational expenditures. You're looking at uniforms, equipment, things of that nature, maybe additional tournaments, whatever that may be, okay? There is no separate reserve or trust fund for operational expenditures, which means it needs to be run through the budget. How do you do that? Well, you have an offsetting revenue to that appropriation, right? So let's say theoretically, this year's program raises $10,000, okay? Next year, we have a line item of revenue of $10,000 from banner advertising program, and you adjust the rec football budget by $10,000 to be able to spend that money.
So we'll be dedicated, the monies are dedicated to rec.
So it's not, no, it's not, I'm actually asking a different question. It's not going to recreation, it's going to the specific sports inside recreation.
It will be within the line item for that sport.
So it will go to rec and it specifically will say football?
Yeah, so if the football banners, we go to football, baseball, we go to baseball.
We can even go so far as setting up a separate line item in their budget for football banner expenditures or something like that.
Well,
to make
is
it very-
Neil still doing all their
He still functions as the
little
treasurer.
mini, right, their treasurer? So then he would work with you on money coming in and the money going out?
Yep. It's,
So let me explain, let me just.
It's really no different than how we structure the fee revenue from shade tree permits. The same-
But
same
now we're
thing.
dealing with the children, so
I
already,
know.
that's why they're questioning it. Could you either go forward or
Which
back?
one do you? Keep going this way.
So, it says the banner will be on display, so we buy the banner, they pay for the banner, but we supply the banner, and they give us the logo, and we print the logo on the banner. So all they have to do is give the money, give a check, and their logo.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's good for one season, and that's it, recycles.
What,
And are the banners supposed to, they're all uniform in size, uniform in color, uniform in background?
That's what
says-
Steve was talking about, that there would be a uniform look. That's my understanding, yeah.
And it's for one, it says for the entire football
It's for the
season.
entire season.
And is it limited number we're selling?
I believe so, but I don't know, I don't have a count.
Okay.
All right.
It would be per season?
It says
Per season.
football
Okay.
season.
So just so I'm clear, so the money, after the money is raised, the money goes to offset exactly what?
It'll go to offset, in the subsequent year's budget, it'll go to offset program expenses for football and for baseball.
So just program expenses. So in other words, it's going to pay for coaches, uniforms.
Whatever.
Okay. So this money, so just to be clear, I'm a father of 2 girls. Okay, so will this money also be available for the girls softball and the girls sports?
I thought they mentioned that they wanted to include softball in it.
They
Well,
should.
but they're including the field, right? So I think.
It's the field.
Councilman Kamala's question is that money going to the rec budget or each individual sport?
Well, that's why I'm asking you, is it dedicated to football?
It will be dedicated to each of those sports, but mind you that the way we budget, it's all in the rec budget. That's the way it works.
I really think you have to sit down with Neil, with the money, and
Dedication by right.
with rec, and get this straightened out before we go
That's fine.
ahead.
I'll tell you, we explained all of this to Steve last week. I'm happy to do it with Neil and Mike Guadagnino as well.
I think it's important to do that, and everybody's on this, and everybody's on the same page. And, I think that's the question, because originally, the idea was to help offset the fees for all the equipment. The equipment has become so expensive, football equipment.
I could see softball being a little wary because like the baseball fields have fences. Softball fields don't have fences to put stuff on. So if I'm a softball parent and I have a business and I want to put it, I'm basically putting it on a baseball fence. Now, am I raising money for baseball? Am I raising money for softball? I could see where the problem is.
Overall,
I thought it was football. I was under the impression it was really just for the football field.
Overall, it's a good initiative as long as we do it uniformly and right. I think that's
Right.
fine. We just have to make sure.
Everybody, like I said, everybody has to
That's all.
be in agreement on what we're doing.
Fine, right, I mean, so we're happy to continue that discussion with you.
Hey, before you know it, you'll have it on the tennis fences and Pickleball.
Well, you know, if it's.
Hockey, roller hockey.
Or roller hockey,
It's a way to
right.
raise money.
Playground.
That's what I'm saying. We have to sit with rec and be on the same page.
Yeah, because, to that point, right?
Same rec, right.
I think there's the hockey, which is all good things, by the way, it's revenues. Let's have a process in place.
All right. Anything else under work session?
Nope, that's it.
New business. Under new business, I brought up that I would like you to arrange with Boswell to have an open public meeting to talk about our water. So
Sure.
that everybody understands
We'll
exactly
start
where we are.
making
Okay.
And just since water, I had mentioned earlier to Rich that
The water we're drinking up here is tap water, by the way.
Untested tap
with the
water.
pump, with
not
the
tested.
pumps not being able to keep up, so in the future, if we do need larger pumps or more pumps, that would be, we'd have to file with the DEP and everything and all, and,
We'd have to look at that as a regulatory issue.
okay, because, I mean, this is the first time that the pumps haven't been able to, and I mean, they were keeping up, but not as well.
It happened last year for a week or two as well, when it was very dry, and there was a very high amount of usage. But as I was mentioning, there is, daily capacity, a monthly limit, an annual limit, things like that. So we would need to go and look at all of that.
Okay, so because the way you were saying, it's not that the water's not there, it's just that we couldn't fill the tanks fast enough. And so eventually, I think we're gonna need bigger pumps.
And we may, as we continue to grow, if you have a couple other developments come online, that would be something that we'll need to look at.
Okay, thank you.
Any other new business? Old business? You don't want to bring up old business, you don't want to bring up your pump? Though I have to tell you, under old business, Ed Decker, the owner of the shopping center, is really looking seriously about removing that, the guardrail.
Great.
Yes, finally. All right, council committee reports, we'll start
From that side.
No, start on that side.
We always start at this side.
It's because I'm writing, I tend to start right.
All right, couple things here. Message from the police chief and the police department. The police department has rolled out the police officer trading card program. Each card features a picture of the officer and the information about the officer on the back. Kids should try and find each other and collect all 24 trading cards. First child to collect all the cards will bring them to the Oakland Police Department headquarters and be rewarded a special prize. As for patrol during the month of June, officers conducted 202 motor vehicle stops and issued 305 motor vehicle summonses. Additionally, there were 2 vehicle burglaries during the month, and once again, they both occurred at the New Jersey State Park off of Skyline Drive. So if you're going hiking up in the woods, lock your car, keep the stuff out of sight so you don't get into problems with that. And also, patrol also made 2 arrests for driving while intoxicated, 2 narcotics arrests. I just want to take a minute and also talk about the Junior Police Academy graduation. I tell you, it was myself and the mayor, the borough administrator were down there, and they had over, and Councilman Pignatelli was paying the pipes. Sorry about that, Pat. There were probably in excess of 30 graduates from the event, and some of the trips that they took were for the Borough County Sheriff's Department, learning how to do crime scene investigation. They went to NYPD, and they were looking at the aviation unit and that's, some of the rescue tactics that they use in New York City. They went to MetLife. They also did drills with the Oakland Fire Department, and they spent half a day there, and also Oakland EMS and all kinds of PT and everything else like that. I encourage any parent here who is a child of that age to sign them up for that week of the Police Academy. What I heard from the officers was it really brought a lot of the children out of their shell, and it was really good for the children in general. And in this day and age, with the sentiment of anti-police, this is something we really need in this country to really, the kids need to really understand the importance of policing, and it's extremely important to our community. And we got to turn that tide of really hating the police in this country.
And the officers enjoy it too. They really get a kick out of that week.
And I want to just recognize Officer Dakwa, Officer Tiniel, and now Lieutenant Piercy for all the work they did in this program. It's really a wonderful program. And I also want to once again congratulate Carly Goldrich for being hired today as a police officer, and the promotions of now I can call him Sergeant Rowan and Lieutenant Piercy. And this is good stuff for the Oakland Police Department and also the Oakland Borough in general. Green Team. Next meeting is next Tuesday, 7:30 at the Senior Center. Ally has asked me to put the call out for volunteers. They really need a lot of volunteers, and now this art thing is taking off. They're going to be looking for volunteers for that as well. If you're interested, come down to Senior Center. Come down to listen, see what it's all about. I mean, they're really doing a lot of good work, and obviously they're growing their organization. And also, I want to recognize them on the bags. It was really tough looking through those 70 contestants, and there was a lot of debate behind the scenes, with myself included. And remember, the bags, you can get them down at the library, Senior Center, and Borough Hall. And more announcements will be coming out next month after the Green Team meets of how the distribution is going to take place. As for rec, the 2 pickleball courts are currently up and running. It seems to be the greatest sport in Oakland at this point. They seem to be in use most of the day. So things are moving really well with that. And also, the borough is working very diligently trying to get the quotes together so that the tennis court can be resurfaced with the pickleball court. So they're making good progress on that. And that concludes my report, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ready for me?
I am ready.
The Environmental Commission did not have a meeting, so I have nothing to report for there. The Board of Health takes a hiatus during the July and August summer months, so I don't have a report there. And for senior citizens, on August the 18th, there's going to be the senior barbecue. And that's it.
What's the date?
August 18th.
Thank you. Councilman McCann, do you have anything?
Yes, it's just a report on one of my assignments, but it's kind of a lengthy report. I attended the Communications Commission meeting, and then within the commission there's different subcommittees, so there's a lot of activity to report on. First, I'd like to say that it was a very it's a very good group of people that you've assigned, that the mayor and council put on the committee. They're dedicated to their mission, and they're thoughtful and looking to try new ideas. And so I will do my best to fully support them, as I indicated. But to summarize the meeting, the commission is, one of their current goals is they would like to install video cameras in the senior center to eventually be installed at the recreation field so residents can have access to some of the additional programming of events that go on within the borough. And the different types of content that are available through either the senior center or through various recreation programs. They were hopeful to obtain a grant from the county, but I think as of yesterday or the day before, they were turned down for grants. But they are going to go to Altice and Verizon and speak to them. The idea behind what they're trying to accomplish here is to make relevant the TV channel as it relates to competing social media by trying to tie in social media information into the TV channel, because not everyone in the borough works on social media. There's a newsletter committee. Also, the newsletter committee. What they do is the newsletter tries to report on various activities in the borough by individual people. For example, last month they featured someone who worked in the maritime industry and talked about his experiences in training in that field. And they did a great interview. And so but that committee is also in need of volunteers, so that the more people we have to report on, unique things happening in the borough or unique people, we would welcome people to submit articles and photographs so that we could bring that to highlight the special uniqueness of the citizens and residents of Oakland. Also on the commission is a welcome website and social media committee. And they're going to be having another meeting soon, but they also need volunteers to step forward. Because over the last 2 months, the committee is eager to continue to improve the actual content posted on the borough social media channels, and also starting the planning process to create a borough welcome package for new residents. And again, that kind of ties into the idea that I first mentioned of introducing cameras in a limited way to promote these events. The Oakland Television Committee is also, again, looking for volunteers. In this particular area, they're looking for people who have experience in video editing. The committee will be actually doing a training program on video editing, so that if there's anyone who wants to learn about video editing and they believe it's currently a weak point within the programming that they have, you can simply contact the borough and they will let you know when the classes are going to be held for that. The committee wants most of the residents to know that if you don't have cable or if you're not home, you can view Oakland TV 24/7 from your cell phone, tablet, computer, Roku device, Fire Stick device, Android TV, or Apple TV by downloading. There's a free app called Local D as in Bob TV app. I'm not sure where you get that app, but probably the App Store. If you have an Apple device in your Android device, you can check with your vendors for your phone. There's a bulletin board committee, and they want to know about all the events that are going on in Oakland, so we can post them on the TV bulletin board. They're also looking for people to submit some music to be played while the bulletin board is being displayed on television. So if there's anyone who has original music that they may have written themselves or they want to suggest for the committee to consider to post for the bulletin board, again, just contact the borough and we will get somebody from the committee to get back to them. And that's my report on the Communications Commission.
Feel better? You sound like your throat is getting worse.
Yeah, it is from when I spoke to you earlier, for sure.
So take care of yourself.
Thank you. If you may want to tell people why I'm not there, I would appreciate that, as opposed to me.
Oh, well, you could hear it, his throat. He's not well. I'm not going to, I have to go for a test tomorrow. So when he said one of his members of his family may be sick, I said, maybe you should stay away. So, no, I didn't want to divulge anything, but feel better. Hope you're okay. Thank you for your report.
You're welcome.
Councilman.
Yes, I don't have anything to report this
Quiet.
this week. It's quiet other than.
But you have a new member now on public events.
Yes, and I just want to wish everybody a happy summer and feel better, John, and thank you.
Stay cool, stay hydrated.
Yes. Don't forget the cooling stations, senior center, library, and drink lots of water. Yes. Councilman.
Thank you, Mayor. Bush Plaza, so we had our meeting last night. Right now, we're waiting on the answer from the grant from the State Bridge. In October, we're looking to receive that for when we'll get the answer for the grant.
Hopefully.
Okay. So we're in a limbo period. What we're doing is we have some work. We're working with Boswell and with Mr. Chakowski on. He's doing a deed search on property. We're getting all of our ducks in a row. So once we get the property searched, we're going to do a scan, make sure there's no issues, and once we get the grant, we can start our planning for the park. We're looking to start fundraising sometime near the end of this year. We've started where we'll be working with the SAO on fundraising activities. expect more to follow in September. We'll be giving a presentation to the council on where we are and the next steps.
So you'll be taking donations and that'll go to Sports
Yes.
Association?
Yes.
That will not go to the borough?
Correct. We're working through that now, so we'll finalize, I'll read that perfectly, so that's how we'll be doing it. From a DPW perspective, everyone makes fun of me who watches this, so at least no people are watching, they make fun of me because all they're talking about is potholes. But whenever I meet with DPW, they say, please mention about reporting potholes, because they fixed 700 potholes this year, which it just shows you that people are calling between potholes and streetlights. Please call DPW at 201-337-8103 to report any potholes.
And
any
you know
streetlights
what,
out.
they do, if you do report a pothole,
Within 2 weeks.
they're out there fixing, covering that pothole.
Within 2 weeks, it's fixed, so I think they do even better than that. I just know that my neighbor called, asked me for the number, called in 2 weeks, the pothole was fixed. So. The other point, DPW, excuse me, I'm having technical difficulties here. All right. DPW recently completed their annual outfall inspections for the, as required by the New Jersey Department of NJDEP. DPW inspected and maintained all 162 stormwater outfall drains that are in the town. And then from Shade Tree, unfortunately, we didn't have a quorum at our meeting on July 6th. So we did not much to report. I do want to say that with the new ordinance, we've actually, I think we're close to 45 replacements on people who filed permits and with ordinance, and then we're working on getting a proper permitting process back to the town. So where if someone, when you need a tree cut down, you go in, you'll get a green plaque like you would a normal permit, so you know, so that people don't start reporting their neighbors for reporting trees down. That's all I had.
Thank you. At this time, motion open to the public.
So moved?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone wish to speak? Motion to close.
Motion to close?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Bills to be paid. Who is reading the bills to be paid?
Do you want me to do it? I got it.
I see it's big. Yes, go ahead. He has, the font is really large.
Bills to be paid, $2,723,235.42. So moved.
Second?
And as long as everybody read the bills list, you can vote. Roll call.
Councilman Kamala.
Yes.
Councilman McCann.
Yes.
Councilman Pignatelli.
Yes.
Councilman Saliani.
Yes.
Councilman Talamini.
Yes.
Motion to adjourn.
So moved?
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The next meeting will be here in council chambers, August 17th. Stay safe, drink a lot of water, and stay cool.
Right.
And,